So this video is for everybody. Anybody can watch, but it's mainly geared towards my young people, my nieces, my nephews. This video is mainly geared towards y'all, and I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to really listen to what Uncle Tim is saying in this one. Okay? Unc's got no reason to lie to you. I got no ulterior motive. I just want to make a video hitting you with some truths so that maybe it can help you out in life. Just like there were people when I was your age who were older than me who hit me with some truth, hit me with some realness that really helped me out in life. Now, old people, people my age, people older, feel free to watch as well. Actually, please do watch. And if what I'm saying is true, please chime in down there in the comments and let the young people know it's not just me, but like that I'm I know what I'm talking about here. Help them out as well. I feel like that is one area in our society where we're really kind of lacking is our helping our young people. Now, young people, excuse me, some of the things I'm going to say gonna sound a little weird. Your first reaction is probably going to be like, I don't know what he's talking about. But that's because pretty much everybody else in your life has told you something different. In fact, a lot of them probably have told you the exact opposite. You've been hearing it all your life. So some of the stuff I'm going to say might sound a little weird. Just listen, okay? Just bear with me and listen. My message today, young people, is to hold on to your freedom as long as possible. Or to hold on to your freedoms until you want to give them up. Hold on to your freedom as long as possible, or until you decide you want to give them up. Some of the main messaging that we give young people throughout their life, from birth, and it just ramps up the closer they get to mid-teens, late teens, 20s. The main messaging is basically that you have to get out there and do all these things in life at around this age, early 20s. And most of the things they tell you to do take away your freedom and give you more responsibility. Now, most of these things they tell you to do, there's nothing wrong with. All right? And if you look around, pretty much everybody else is doing them. Right? And that's why it's so easy to think oh, I better do this stuff too. Humans are social creatures. We take cues from the people around us. It's very easy. If we see everybody else around us doing things, and then people are telling us, you better do it by 23, to be like, oh man, I better do it by 23. Here's the thing though. Pretty much all these things take away your freedom, give you more responsibility. And once your freedom is gone, it is very hard to get it back. Once they get you on that plantation, it's very hard to get up past that Mason-Dixon line again, okay? Right? And that's what I see happening to so many young people. It's not that the things they want to do in life are wrong. One of the things, the real problem is not what they're trying to do is wrong. The problem is the timing. The problem is we put this sense of pressure on y'all. The problem is we rush y'all and say, oh man, immediately after high school, you have to go to college. If you're not married by 25, something's wrong with you. If you haven't found a good job by 24, something's wrong with you. If you don't have a house by 30, what is wrong with you? All these things. You need to start saving for retirement by 27. You know what I mean? All these things we tell you have to have figured out at such a young age. And you will notice, while there's nothing wrong with any of these things, all these things kind of take away your freedom, put more responsibility in your life. Another one is kids. Oh, why don't you have kids yet? You get this all the time. I'm sure young people, you get a certain age immediately. Think about kids. Why don't you have kids yet? All these things kind of lock you into the system. All these things give you more responsibility. Pretty much all these things mean that you have to work at a certain level. More responsibilities you get in our society, the more they cost. Okay? There was a time in human history where you could have more responsibility and you just maybe had to work a little harder, but in a manner that didn't bother you or wasn't as tiring, wasn't as exhausting, wasn't as soul sucking. There was a time that like if you had another kid, well, you just had to hunt a few more minutes every night. you know, you know what I mean? Excuse me. But now, all these things they tell you you have to have, and no one really explains to you why you have to do it. By the way, next time someone tells you you have to do something by a certain age, like ask them why. Like really, remember when you was a kid and you used to be like, why? Why? Keep doing that. No need to stop doing that just because we get older. Make people explain to you why. Why'd I got to do that? And they may have one or two answers. Then after about the second answer, they won't know what to say. But the thing is, once again, it's not a lot of times what people tell you you need to do. By the way, you don't need to do it because sometimes it's things you want to do anyway. A lot of it is the timing. Okay? We're rushing young people into doing things and then getting them locked in the system so young that next thing you know, they look up and they're 35 and like they have all these responsibilities and they have all this debt, and it seems like they're like perpetually on this hamster wheel that gets them nowhere, and they never really had any time to like live or do anything. Your late teens, your early 20s are an amazing special time. There's a reason some people call it your prime. Okay? You got certain energies, you know what I mean? You're looking good. You're looking good in a manner you're never gonna look good again. You know what I mean? Your body is developing in certain ways that it ain't gonna be like that forever. And that's not saying that like every decade doesn't have its stuff and life can't be amazing your entire life. But there are, just certain things that like you're gonna have. Like physically, mentally, all of that in your 20s, you're not gonna have it like that again. Not to mention, just in general, like that's one of your more adventurous times in life. That's a time when like you really want to be out there doing things, whatever your thing is. When we're that age, we really want to be out there doing things. We really like being around our friends. Like, you're just like getting. It's funny. Excuse me. Let me get a little drink of water here. It's funny, at that age, we're just starting to get some freedoms. Like as you become like 18, 19, you get into your early 20s, it's the first time getting like certain freedoms, but then society immediately wants to take those away from you. It's like, oh, you're an adult now, you can think for yourself, you can do more things on your own, but like immediately they try to put other stuff on you that takes that freedom away. Yeah, you can do what you want, but we want you locked in at a job immediately, so you still can't do what you want. Like, just think about that. The moment you start to get some freedom in life and become an adult, they immediately start telling you what an adult does. They want to take that freedom back. Excuse me. Apologize for that. They want to take that freedom back. And I'm here to tell you, young people, and this is where I need some of y'all older people to chime in the comments. One of the worst regrets is to get to a certain age. And I talk to people all the time who say this. Is to get to a certain age and having rushed into adulthood and adult life, now you look back and you're just like, man, I wish I took a couple years and just did me. I wish I took a couple years and just like lived in a crappy apartment with six of my friends and worked at whatever job and, traveled when I wanted to, or maybe I just wanted to, maybe even if I did, go to school or get a good job or some of the other things, I didn't immediately jump into like marriage or being a parent, or I just had some years to just like enjoy the financial rewards from my actions on my own, because that's the thing too. Excuse me. We try to make it seem like there's a rush. Young people, I'm here to tell you, there's no rush. Like life can be very long. Some of y'all gonna live to be to your 90s. Trust me, right? Life can be long. And here's the thing too. If for some reason, for any of us, our life ends up being shorter, well then did it really matter how quickly we got in the job market? You know what I'm saying? Like if for some reason we're called home in our 40s or in our 50s, is the last thing we're gonna say as we're being prematurely called home is, I'm so glad I started working at 21. You know what I mean? No. And if our life is long, if we're blessed to live into our 80s or 90s, we got plenty of time to do this other stuff. But once you give up those freedoms, and once you become, you know, what is it they're always saying? A productive member of society. It's hard to get back to just like living your life and doing what you want, and being debt free, and just being able to go and come and go as you please. And once again, those are the things you'll look back on and wish you did. Like, you get a certain age, and a lot of times, and that's the thing too. Like, we always try to make it seem like we have to be doing something. We have to be being productive. We have to be leveling up. Blah, 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 blah. Ask any older person. I think they will tell you. A lot of them will tell you they appreciate more now the times in their life when they wasn't doing nothing. You know what I mean? This idea of like, oh, I got to be making it, and I got to be doing this, and I don't want to be a failure. And I'm telling you, ask people. And some of the moments they appreciate the most were the ones where they weren't doing nothing. On paper, they wasn't leveling up. They weren't being productive. They were just living. If you've got your freedom, or the more freedom you have, the more you can just live. The more you can just enjoy life. And when the time comes, when it feels right to you, if you want to do all those things society says you have to do them in your own timing. Maybe you don't want to get married in your 20s. Maybe you want to wait till your 30s. Maybe you want to go to college at 40. But there's a lot of people who end up going back to school when they're older, and like they appreciate it more. A lot of people, if you ask them, will tell them, yeah, me going to college from 19 to 24, horrible idea. But if I went from 35 to 39, probably would learned a lot more. Maybe you want to wait and have kids till you're a little older, a little more mature. Maybe you want to wait and get the good job till a little later in life. Maybe now you just want to work down there to the Taco Bell. By the way, I passed the Taco Bell today, $25 an hour. Down there to the Taco Bell. I was like, hey, I see y'all. Okay. They was in there smiling, making them burritos, bro. I'm telling you. Kids were happy. They care. Anyway, maybe you just want to work a little whatever job and just hang out. Like, there does not have to be this rush to like jump into adulthood and check all these boxes. For what? Like I was saying earlier, what do you get out of it? This idea of like, oh, this is what an adult does. Why? What do I get from that? All you get from that is more responsibility. And then you are stuck with this responsibility for decades. None of this stuff they're telling you need to hurry up and do goes away next week. Nah, this stuff is like for life, some of it, or definitely for like decades. Buying a house, having kids, marriage, certain professions and fields, all this other stuff they're telling you to do. This stuff is for decades, if not for life. And whether you want to hear it or not, at 19, you just have not, you might be a very intelligent person, but you haven't had enough life experience to really know if a lot of this stuff is like, if you're going to be able to handle it, you just don't know. Now, other people will tell you that, oh, no, you're an adult now, you're old enough, you can handle it. And you probably could. But that doesn't mean like you want to put in that work now. There's lots of things that just like you could do in life, but you don't want to do it now. Small things, big things. And it's weird, like the small things in life, if you tell somebody, oh, I don't really want to do that now. Okay. The big things in life, oh, I don't really want to do that now. What? You're 23. You have to do it. Why? So I could live the same life you're living? And that's another thing too, young people. And you can use this on me too, or anyone else who tries to give you advice. Look at the life that person is living. Look at like their happiness level. Look at their level of joy, their level of peace. And if you look at that and you say, that's kind of what I want, or a version of that, well then listen a little closer. But if someone's giving you advice about your life, your future, or even your present, and you look at their life and they not living how you would want to be living, they're not as happy as you trying to be happy at that age, they don't have that joy, they don't have that peace, Well, then maybe, listen respectfully, but maybe that's not the advice to take. A lot of us humans just give advice based on what we did. And once again, I'm not telling anybody to live in the manner I live. Okay, it works for me. I just want you to find the manner of living, young people, that works for you, right? And I just know the cookie cutter rush you into doing all these things they say you need to do that takes away pretty much all your freedom until maybe like 70, if you're lucky. I know that's not for everybody. We're all unique. We're all different. There's 8 billion of us on this planet. There's 8 billion different ways to do it times 100, because we all could do it 100 different ways. But yet they want us to believe like the standard way of doing it is the right way for everybody. It's crazy. And I don't want y'all's generation to get sucked into it like so many in my generation did. And these people are now in their 40s and their 50s. They're miserable. They're broke. They're in debt. And they're still not free. They're still not free. And they got another 20 years to do it. Young people, I don't want that to happen to you. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, like, I mean this. Like, I want y'all to be in y'all's 40s and be free, or if you do have any responsibilities or anything you're taking care of, they're the things you chose to do when you chose to do them. Because if you choose to do it in your own timing, it's not a burden. It's called a sacrifice. I'm willing to sacrifice to do this because I want to do it. It brings me joy. I'm doing it in the right timing. That's what I want for y'all. And so I hope this video has been helpful. Take a moment. Like I said, ask some adults or some older people in your life who you think are going to be real with you. Ask them, like, do I need to do this now? Why do I need to do it? Like, ask deeper questions. Don't just go along with what everybody is saying, because that may not be what's right for you. Hey, I love y'all. I'll talk to you later.